Today's episode of Live and Podcast is proudly brought to you by the Christmas Heirloom Company.
The Christmas Heirloom Company is the only shop like this that you will find in Australia. And this year, they are located at Westfield for West Lakes.
Right up until Christmas Eve, so get in there and get all your Christmas goodies.
Be quick so you don't miss out.
Yeah, you really confused the hell out of me there.
I could really tell. I could see it in your face.
I was like,
okay. He's on a rant.
Am I living?
Jaden's in love with Katy Perry's new song Wonder. Have you heard it?
I haven't.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Been checking that one out on Spotify afterwards.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten into the latest Katy Perry stuff.
We just heard it on the radio and he was like,
There's my problem.
and I was like, beautiful. Now he's got it on repeat and we'll be sick of it in a week. Sorry, no, we won't, Katie. If you're listening. In case you're listening.
I mean, obviously you are.
Katie, sorry.
Katie, sorry.
Sorry, Katie.
Special shout out to our
last
favourite
night
listener.
when she messaged me.
Yeah. Miss Katy Perry. She was just coming off the back of her MTV win and she thought, I just need to let Nancy know.
I just need to know that, they're doing another episode. And we are. Welcome
Hey,
back.
yeah.
Hi, Katie. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Live and Podcast with your hosts, Nancy Timpano.
And Vince Fusco. We have been sitting here enjoying the sunshine, having a laugh today, and it's beautiful
It is nice.
because there's just a lot to talk about, and Katy Perry's one of them.
I know, just random.
Just one of the many, many things, hey?
Yeah, but one of the many things, today's topic is, have you ever put someone forward for work?
Katy Perry.
And no,
Put her forward for work.
did you now? Good call.
Yes, absolutely.
Good call. But
American
no,
Idol judge, and she got the job. She's done well. She's done very well.
I know I've put many people forward for work, ideas or work or whatever. And look, there's a part of me that's sometimes nervous that you're like, oh, I hope it works out for when you're not involved, if it's, linking people. But the majority of the time, I will think it through thoroughly.
Yep.
And try and put, the best. I have to play out the whole thing in my head before I even go there. Like even you recently, I said, oh, you were busy. You couldn't answer the phone. I said, I don't need you to talk. Just, would this be a good idea? And you just went, yes.
Ah, yes. Okay. You can,
know
if
what I
if you're watching, you might see the wheels ticking and spinning in my head as you're talking. I'm thinking through this because this is a fantastic conversation. And yes, now that you've given me that example, I know exactly where you're referencing. And it is one of those things, I suppose, where you were coming to me for a reference check almost.
Yeah, I had the idea and I was like, oh, this is great. But you know what? I can just get the double check.
Yeah. Should I put this person, is this person right?
Yes.
That's what you were checking.
Yep.
And I said, yes, bang, bang.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. 100%. Like it's funny. Some of my circle call me like Nancy HR or the human connector.
100%. I will vouch for that.
Funny.
100%. You're like
And
the
I'm
human
like,
directory.
The directory.
Operator. Nancy, operator. Nancy.
Yeah, I'm just going to connect you now.
Yeah.
And I love it. I do love that. I can do that sometimes, but sometimes I think to myself, is it ever going to come back for me?
What do you mean? Everyone connects you. No, I think we connect you back. You don't feel that way?
Well, no, I'm just thinking, I don't know.
Maybe not as much. It's funny. It's like the connector also needs to be connected.
Yes.
The
So
considerate also needs to be
considered.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I just think,
That's fair. That's a
sometimes.
different
It's just
topic, but I
funny.
like where you're at there.
but I love.
So yeah,
I
and putting
love,
someone forward is a big thing because it is almost like it's such a personal. It's a personal reference,
Yeah.
and like you just said, I have to think out every detail.
Yeah.
I probably don't think out every detail or scenario of how it's going to go. I have a pretty hard rule with it, which is if I wouldn't hire that person,
Of course.
I wouldn't put them forward.
Of course.
So if and I only ever would put people forward, which I have done, either whom I've worked with personally,
Yep.
or even if it's like a secondhand reference, a bit like in your case with me in this one, you were just like, oh, how's that person?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think? And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think like even then, I almost need to know the person.
Correct. Yeah.
Whereas, because I have had friends where they're like, oh, can you put my niece or nephew forward because you've got a friend with
Yes.
connection? Can you maybe put them in? And I'll be like, oh, look, let me get to know them. Or when I have done that historically, then I get the feedback that, well, it has not gone well. And that's the part for me that I'm like, I don't need my name associated.
No.
I keep my stuff to myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Protect my name.
Have you had to do reference checks for
thousands of times.
And are you honest?
Always.
100% honest. Me too.
100%.
I hate at the end, like I try and be diplomatic, like in terms of like if I just thought they were awful, I will answer their questions in the right way. I just think that question at the end, that when the last question is, would you hire them again? And I'm like,
I've got a story.
What do I do?
You've just brought to my mind. But it probably comes back to like one of the entitlement episodes or a bit like that maybe.
Yeah.
But like I did a few years ago, I was running a pathway program between some of the educational institutions here to industry.
Yeah.
And I had interns and an intern program where they could come in and work real life work in the industry across a period of time to basically like continue to support their learning and as a pathway into the industry. One season I had 5 and there was 3 out of 5 that were fantastic. Out of those 3, I was going to hire 1. I had a position for 1.
Yep.
And out of the bad ones, they're obviously like, I give them a lot of constructive feedback, but also very honest feedback. Yep. So like, these are the reasons why we're not progressing, or these are the things that you need to improve on, and here's how you can do that. So it's never just like instruction, like go do that and improve. It's this is how you can improve. Anyhow, we get to like the end of that, and as we're going through the exit process, I'm doing like the interviews with their supervisors from their respective universities, and comes the end of it, and this one particular intern who did not have a great experience, they were not good, just under quality, under delivering on everything, and even personality wise didn't bring that sense of like I want to be here, versus people who are like I will kill for the job, you know. Anyway, and as we get to the end of the interview, they go whisper something in the supervisor's ear, and the supervisor's like, oh Vince, I've just got something else I just want to ask, like can you be a reference? I said, well, absolutely not. And I said, why not? I said, you've been a reference for everybody else. I said, yeah, but again, everybody else has somewhat made the cut of the grade that I would be happy to put my name to. If you want me to be a reference, I will do it, but it will not be a positive one. It will be an honest reference because I don't believe you are suitable for this job. I don't believe you have the competency and or the knowledge and the skill set at this point. I think you can with work and with listening and taking on some mentoring and some more instruction, because you haven't shown that in the whole time you've been here. And they were just like pissed. They couldn't believe it. And then I was like, I can't believe that you actually can't see that. And the fact that you've asked your supervisor now to raise it shows me again, you can't even raise that. So if you can't have that conversation, you cannot have it. Sorry. So honest references. And I had someone else who then went to a job and put me as a reference without telling me. And when I got the reference call and they said, oh, we're just ringing about such and such, I literally had to say, well, that's definitely not, I would not be hiring that person.
Yes, I know. You have to be honest. And I think because I've had, years and years and years and years in management and recruiting people myself, that people trust. So I people go like, oh, no, I'm going to trust you, Nancy.
And if you're a good human, like if you're a good read on a person, if you've got a good judge of character. I've got one cousin of mine, he's got the greatest judge of character. And I often will use him as my barometer. So like if I introduce him to someone just once, and he will say to me, no good, bad apple, or...
Right.
And that tells me everything. And lo and behold, he's been right every time.
Sometimes I've had the idea that, or someone said, like I've had other businesses come to me and go, Nance, you were in retail for so many years. Have you got anyone that you could recommend? And I had someone come to me and basically say, Nance, have you given me anyone? They're in. And I remember going back a while, I rang someone and I said, look, there's this opportunity if you want it, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, but I was just maybe only if I could.
That kills me.
If I could do that. And I was like, yeah, cool. Let them know. And by now I'm like, no, I'm not even going back to them.
100%. And then but they don't even follow up, those people. They won't even follow up with you and be like, hey, Naz, did you say that you were going to connect with me? No, because they're on another planet. 100% I've done that.
And you know what? You have just triggered, because I'm speaking out of turn, and just recently, and I have to say, probably you and me do it. You do it for me and I do it for you, 100%.
What are we talking about?
But you know how you just said, oh, other people do it for you, and I was like, But just recently I had a beautiful connection to a fellow MC, Rosie Panetta, put me up for a job. And yes, she was unavailable and she was like, I know just the person. See? So thanks, Rosie. I'm going to call you out because it actually doesn't happen to me very often, I find.
Right.
you know what I mean? And I'm not doing it to get one back, but if I did look at the stats, it's
No,
like
100%.
100%. It's like this.
I think most
scale is not
creatives
even.
are like that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Totally. But
Yeah.
no, Rosie's the best. That's so nice of her.
No, that was lovely.
Love that.
And so I can't wait to host a Christmas carols coming up.
Where?
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna burst into like confetti.
I know. I'm like,
Deck the holes.
deck the holes.
Look out, Nancy Timpano's coming down.
Gonna be there. Yeah, so stay tuned.
Oh, I love that.
Can't wait.
Okay, more on that in the coming episodes, I think, Nance.
Can't wait. But yeah, I've connected a few people, and I do love that little saying that you're the human connector. I think my friend Natalia put that title to me.
I'd accept it.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'll take that. I will take that.
One of the things I've just thought about it as well. Like I often, if people asked me when they're like, Vince, can you do this job or this task or project or whatever, and I can't do it, and they go, do you know someone who can? Someone actually just recently asked me, I said, Vince, I can't for the life of me think of who I can put on. Who do you recommend? If it's not you, who would you put in your place?
Yeah.
And in other positions and things that I've done, there is like one or two people that either I've personally mentored and trained, or they're just like me. They're really detailed. They're very almost like over the top detailed in some ways. Drives you crazy some days. Drives a lot of people crazy.
Yeah.
But they would be like, they're me. And so like I've done that where I've been like, I've done it with you, where people have said like, oh, Vince, like if you can't MC this gig, who would you put in? And I'll be like, she's the female me. I'll give you Nancy Timpano. But it's because I know that you think the way I think. I know that if I'm not able to stand there myself, who would I send as my proxy? Or not, proxy is probably not the right way, but who I know would be an equivalent thinker to deliver the detail and the experience, not just the actual presentation of emceeing, but I'm saying like it's the everything else. It's the way that I know you're going to talk to those people. They're going to go, she was, and they have every time they've been like, she's amazing.
Oh, thanks. Oh, okay.
No, but you know what I mean?
Attention off. Yep.
It's that idea of like, or previous corporate roles where they're like, oh, if you can't accept the job, who would you?
Yeah.
And I'll say there's another person in that role that I know I consider the female me or the male me, like the male me.
Male me. Ooh.
Questions?
Ooh.
Questions?
Big
Discuss.
questions.
Big questions today on Living. No, but it's I would only send someone who I truly not just would hire them, but I actually think they're a great representation of me, because I think that the people you work with, the people that you spend your time with, your friendship circle, because you can't choose family.
No.
But you can choose your friends, and you can choose who you spend time with. I think they're a direct reflection on you. So if I send someone who's going to be personable, warm, detailed, and execute the job beautifully, that reflects great on me. Whereas if I send someone who's a bit of a slob,
oh my God,
they're going to be like, what the hell does
Vince
Vince
see? And if I can't think of the right person,
I won't send them.
The perfect person, I say, I don't even say I know this person, but I'm not I actually would say I'd have nobody.
I have nobody. Same.
I have nobody, because I don't want them to even go. They're that desperate that they're going to go down that path, and then if it doesn't work out,
then it's
like,
still you're still associated
I'm
with
out.
that. Definitely.
I am out.
100%. I get that a fair bit.
Yes, I just realised you haven't got your sunnies on, and I have. Is that bad of me?
No, not at all.
Okay, just checking. Sorry.
I just thought you were hiding a hangover or something back there. I don't know.
No, I just thought we're outside. The sun, it's glary.
But
glary. Yes, I do like if I can. Yeah, I've employed a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people.
And we did talk about that. The idea of like it doesn't also matter on the paper what it says. If you're qualified, depends how you behave.
Yes.
Depends how you act. How do you show up?
Yeah, because I think if someone said to me, "Give me your resume," the next door person will put in a better looking resume than me. But I think, on paper, a lot of people can look however.
100%. And look, I do that a fair bit with
I'm
clients.
not tech.
Where I get like the old black and white resume that's just written like it was 1985.
I know.
And I redesign them for so many people
to
make them, visually.
Correct.
And that's because having been in the position of hiring for so long.
Because sadly, that's what people look at. That's the first thing.
Especially if it is, and again, to my experience, if it's like, no, it's a design job.
Yeah.
And then I get design, but it's not designed on paper even. So I'm like, how is a designer, you're not showing me your capabilities. But I see one that's got a photo so I can put a face to the name. It's beautifully laid out. It doesn't have 5 pages, 7 pages. It's concise. To me, I'm like, that person knows. We're straight through. So then we look at the detail. Then I want to get to know them. Yeah, but the thing is when you've sent someone and it hasn't worked out, which is really the thing that sort of sparked today, because we were like, we've put people forward, and then you sort of get that feedback where it's like, they haven't shown up. I haven't heard back from them. I haven't. They've come to work and they haven't been as. Are you sure that they're this person?
Well, they sounded so enthusiastic.
And now it's just pitter pattered out. The fire's gone.
Crickets. It's just like
Those ones.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. So yes, no, we will put forward the right people. If we don't, it's just I don't know.
If you trust us, and I hope you do because you're listening.
Yeah.
Then give us the check. You want a reference check?
Yeah.
Vincent Nancy Timpano.
Vincent Nancy Timpano. I like that. Look. I just changed your surname. I do know a Vincent Timpano.
It's 2024. Yeah. Men can change their names too, guys.
That's right. They can.
Nance.
Yes.
Beautiful little chit chat this morning.
Beautiful little chit chat.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go out there and seize the day.
Seize the day? Yeah.
I think so. I think it's a beautiful Monday.
Let's see who we can go out there and connect.
Let's do it, guys. We're going to connect with you on all the socials at livin_podcast on Instagram. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube for a listen. We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're
everywhere. You can't get away from us.
Bye. Have a great week.
Ooh, that was creepy.
What?
You can't get away from us.
That does sound creepy. We should say something nice like, God, you're handsome. God, you're beautiful. Monday morning affirmations of Vince and Nancy.
There's an episode.
Yeah, there's a whole episode.